And the reason I'm deciding to make it a train station is because, well, it looks like a train station. And who doesn't want a train on their property, right? Hey, chickens. It's too cold to be outside, huh? Oh, yeah. Ow. Hi. I want to show you my progress on our yard and property. Basically our efforts in making our property a theme park. Whoops. Oh, snagged my new Christmas sweater. That's bound to happen. Okay, first I want to show you some progress on what I'm terming the train station. Okay, right now it's just a shed and it's obviously not finished. But I'm kind of excited that I was able to make a big indoor, well, eventually indoor, it's not quite indoor right now, but a big indoor location pretty quickly. This piece of concrete pad and this little stem wall was part of these old calf sheds, or cow sheds, I'm not sure which. But in these sheds, oh, here we can see a good glimpse of it, were these nice thick pipes filled with concrete. And I'm assuming that they extended higher and they made up this like angled roof, you know, similar to that thing, but of course on a much smaller scale, and probably similar, like really similar to those sheds in the background. Those ones back there have a railroad tie in lieu of this metal pipe. But this one, where it had this stem wall and these pipes every 8 feet or so, I just decided to utilize the stability of those in concrete, and I just built this box beam around these things. So I just used these 2x6x8s, built them around the leftover pole there. You know, it sticks up 3.5, maybe 4 feet, so it's perfectly stable. Built another box beam around that. I lifted open on these two because I haven't filled with concrete yet. So when the weather warms up, I'm going to do like I did in the other ones, where I made this kind of quick structure, made it in a couple weekends, a couple summers ago, and then I've been adding on to it to make what you see now. But on the other ones over there, I've put a temporary closure here, and then filled it with fast-setting concrete or cement, and then took that off when it was dry, just an hour or two later, and then put the full 8-foot piece on there to make a full 4-sided box beam. So these box beams now function as the posts, and then I built it's a doubled up beam there along the top, and set the 2x8x12s across here and sheathed them on top of the OSB. Anyway, so did that all along the parts, just extended what I had already started right there. There's the old part right there, the kind of weathered OSB there, and then made it a 2-sided enclosure there. So anyway, a long explanation of just what I'm doing here. I want you to be able to catch the vision. I didn't have a train station in mind here necessarily when I built this shed. I just wanted to build a shed, and I figured this would be the easiest place to do it. Oh, here you can see me, how I'm getting ready to pour that fast setting cement or mortar in there just to stabilize it. Anyway, pretty big enclosure. And the reason I'm deciding to make it a train station is because, well, it looks like a train station. And who doesn't want a train on their property, right? I've looked into it a little bit, into making my own train, that is, and track. I think I mentioned on the last video that I've talked to some metal suppliers around, and we've discussed different ways that we could do it. Anyway, So that may be long term, but of course I'm planning on doing it as soon as possible, because the sooner I plan on doing it, the more my brain will make it happen and come up with solutions to problems along the way. I haven't made a ton of progress on these. I've decided that I kind of just need to take them down in order to build them back up. But I hate to take down a lot of things, and I'm a little bit worried about how that will how that'll look to my mind. Like, I don't want to step backwards in progress. I know it's a step forward, but if I see what used to be a shed where I want there to be a building, and I look there where there used to be a building, I'm afraid of what that'll do to me emotionally. So I'm maybe gonna take down just a little section here, and you can see those posts sticking up. That's the part that I'm gonna do it. And so I'll take down just that section, build it up 2 stories, make it all up to code, and progress from there. Other than that, not a lot has changed. Other than everything is dead now, the grass, which actually makes it a little bit easier to sort of size things up. The other thing that's happened is I just bought a trailer, a used trailer. Pretty good deal. It's 22 feet long, which is longer than I'll need for most things. And I can easily pull it behind our van, which I currently use for getting construction supplies. And it can haul several tons of weight, but it can only handle a couple, well, maybe 3 pieces of lumber that are longer than like 10 or 12 feet long. So I can get up to 16 feet long in the van, but again, I can only get 3 of them before they stack up higher than the back seats. So that trailer will help a lot with that. And this is slightly, well, it is related, but not really in terms of construction. But let me just run out here in the field and go with me. It'll be bouncy for a second. But I may have shown you that we've been getting these big piles of tree trimmings, chopped up trees, wood chips, that's what we call them. But when we were in town a month or 2 ago, I saw that there was a guy cleaning up the city streets of all the leaves. So I got out and asked him, "Hey, you getting rid of those?" And he's like, "Yeah, just bring them to the dump." And I said, "Well, is it costing you money to do that?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of eats into the profit." And I said, "Well, I've got probably a 5-acre field that you could drop them off in for free." And he was ecstatic. And it's closer to he is, or closer to most jobs than the dump is, because that's way out of town. Anyway, so it'll save him time, save him money. And why do I want leaves? Well, because our ground is pretty sandy and doesn't hold a lot of moisture, and we want to have trees. We always want trees. And the farmers around here, for some reason, don't like trees on their land or around their land. I can understand on their land, it gets in the way of things, but around the perimeter? Why don't they want trees around the perimeter? I've never understood that. I think it's just an old tradition. They just do it because their parents or grandparents did it, and they have no clue why. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Anyway, pretty dumb in my opinion. But I want trees. So I'm utilizing the benefits of rotting wood and rotting leaves to benefit my soil and hopefully make a better place for trees to grow. Did also plant several little baby pine trees and fir trees and other conifers out here. There are a few others that I didn't plant yet, but I used them for Christmas decorations first. I'll plant them in the springtime. I like building sheds because I get the dopamine of having built a structure from the ground up, without having to spend more than a few days, really. Well, it's more than a few days for that big one. But this is where I put my art materials and frames and finished paintings that aren't yet in galleries or whatever the case may be. And as small as this shed is, it's 12 by 16 feet. I cannot believe how much it cleared up space in my art studio. So it's been really nice to have this. Actually, it's time to put a few of these out there. Start with these ones. Looks like a real art shop with all these frames. Boy, that represents some money there. Hopefully I can make my money back on those. So, anyway, I think most places can use a shed. No matter how small a property is, you can usually find some way to fit some tiny little shed on the property. And it makes a dramatic difference when you can put away stuff that used to be taking up space in your house, or in my case, well, that, and also doing something to house future dreams. All right, see you soon. Bye.